Hey YouTubers, we're going to do a little update on our Sakura D3 chassis that I've been working on. This is my little Toyota, as you can see. So what we did is we got us a carbon fiber chassis and upper deck and some other uprights and stuff. So I want to get into it and show you what it's all about. Take a look at this thing. Alright, so here's what we're working with. We've got the carbon fiber upper deck, as you can see, right here. We got us some new uprights in the rear and some new uprights in the front. And of course it ties everything together. And then we have our battery holder, because the battery goes transversely crossways. These are the battery holder posts that come out. So the battery sits right in there, right underneath the upper deck. This is a really good chassis as far as I can tell. It's kind of a different type of carbon fiber. It's actually a really tight carbon fiber weave. It doesn't look like normal carbon fiber. It has the big block style. This is a really tight weave carbon fiber, which has vertical lines going across it, as you can see. It has a narrow waist on it for a little bit of flex in the chassis. So when you're running counter steer, you want to keep the car planted as much as possible, so it allows a little bit of twist in it so it will stay all four wheels on the ground at all times. Even with full lock, it will still stay nice and flat on the ground. So for this chassis, I want to tell you that the parts and everything that I used, part numbers. Okay, so we have, the top number is for the front uprights, right here. And then the second number is for the rear uprights, or shock tower as they call it. The third one is for the main or center upper deck. The next one is for the transverse battery mounting kit. And then the last one is actually the main chassis itself, the whole deck. I got all these parts from TQ Racing. They're based out of California. They have lots of support for the 3 racing cars. And they ship really fast, and if you have an order over $100, it's free shipping, so kind of tough to beat. So if you got a D3, go ahead and check out 2Q Racing. And we'll share with you, if you're going to do this conversion, a trick that I actually used to do the carbon conversion was I took off the front bumper, and then I took off the rear body mounts, and I flipped the car upside down. When it's laying upside down, you can roll up some towels or something to put under the wheels. So if you can imagine, I had this thing laying upside down like this with some old shop rags to hold the wheels, like so. And what I did was kind of cheated a little bit. I busted out my new drill, and with a 2mm bit in there, I just really carefully went through and took out all the screws that were holding everything on to the deck. And so once you get your receiver and your ESC unstuck from the stock chassis, which looks like this, once you take your receiver and your ESC out of your old chassis, just take it loose, but leave the front and rear bulkhead held together with the center brace. Don't take it apart. So once you flip the car upside down, you can do it by hand if you want to, but just take out all the screws at one time is what I did. Then once you take them out really carefully, you can just lift the whole deck up off of it at one time. Just lift the whole deck up, and you'll be left with the upper deck holding the two bulkheads and everything else still together, which would include your belts and everything. So then once you do that, you can just take your carbon chassis, just sit it down, align your holes, and then start putting the screws in for the bulkheads first, and just work your way down the center of the car towards the back. And then once you get that done and the car feels nice and secure again, do your suspension. There's 2 blocks in the rear and 2 blocks in the front. Go ahead and line those up, and you can start them by hand and just tighten them up. And then once you get those tightened back up, then you can flip the car back over and start working on everything else, like the upper deck part, which is this stock piece right here. So then you would go through and take out your upper deck piece, which is held in place with your screws in the front. There's one in the center on a post, and then the stuff in the back right here. So that way you can take everything loose, slide it out, slide the new carbon upper deck back in, tighten everything back up, and it's done. You don't have to worry about putting everything back together piece by piece, because by just removing the whole deck at one time and putting the carbon back on top of it, it's really fast. I mean, it was super quick for me to do this conversion, even though it looked like it would be a nightmare to try to tear this thing apart, but it was actually very easy. So give it a try and see how it works out for you. It worked out really well for me, and I think overall I was happy with the conversion. Sakura's coming together really nice. It's pretty much done for me right now. They do sell some outer hubs and things like that that's in aluminum, but I'm not really interested in getting those right now. But definitely with the carbon chassis, you will gain a lot of ground clearance because it's very thin. So if you're having problems with ground clearance with the old chassis in the front, you'll definitely have lots of ground clearance underneath it, and it will definitely be a lot easier to do your ride height adjustments because the deck itself is very flat, so you can put your gauge underneath it and get everything evened out just right. But I think it's a nice conversion. It, of course, with 3 racing, everything fits together perfectly, so there's no prizing or bending or messing around. It just lines up and bolts right back together. And so the pink really looks pretty good on the silver as far as I'm concerned. Looks pretty sharp. Let me spin this thing around here so you can take a look at it. Like that. And of course I've got quite a few aluminum pieces on there. And then the bottom again. And it looks pretty sharp. So if you're considering going carbon, go ahead and jump on it. And hopefully you can use my little tip for the conversion process, and it'll save you a lot of time and a headache. So don't be afraid to use your nice variable speed drill to take everything apart. But don't use your drill to put everything back together, because you could probably strip out everything. And always just put it back together with your trusty tool by hand. So good luck on the conversion, and keep checking back for some more updates I'm probably doing in the future. And of course we'll be getting back together and doing a lot more drift videos. So thanks for watching, and see you later.